Hey you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So this video is a mere summary of the Pirate Lord's past, leaving a lot of tangents out that will be covered by other lore character stories. In the next few weeks, I'll be running over the storyline of pretty much every well-known lore character within the game. So please write down in the comments who you'd like to see discussed next. Also, subscribe. The Pirate Lord was one of the first pirates to not only find, but also plunder the Sea of Thieves, with his crew, Mercia, Rathbone, and Shan, upon his flagship, the Magpie's Wing. Back when he was flesh and blood, he was known as Ramsay Singh, a pirate already known for his piratical deeds in the rest of the world, but came to the Sea of Thieves after following clues that he sought out himself. Upon his arrival, the first island him and his crew stumbled upon was coined Thieves' Haven. It was their base of operations for some time, and you can even see remnants of their attempt to colonize. But once the path was known to the Sea of Thieves, others started to travel here, and for a time, it became a pirate haven. The Pirate Lord, however, had other ideas. He didn't want to see the mistakes of the outside world come to this pocket of paradise. The ever-increasing numbers of crews who were turning up in these lands was causing squabbling rivalry over its plunder, and trading companies began to arrive with the plans to ransack Sea of Thieves to help with their dominance over the outside world. However, the Pirate Lord and his crew had already found a lot of secrets within these lands, and knew most of the treasure's locations. He was also aware that most of the treasure in these lands was cursed, transferring this curse over to anyone who may touch it. So he set up a plan to lock away all of the treasure in the Sea of Thieves in chests constructed out of unbreakable metal and unbreakable locks, with the help of his crewmate Shan. His plan was to be the only person who could unlock these chests, in an attempt to stop the petty rivalry between all inhabitants of this new land. He sent out a message to all the crews in the Sea of Thieves at an outpost that was once called Golden Sands. The people who answered the call was Captain Briggsy of the Homeward Dove, Captain Slate of the Morning Star, and Captain Greymarrow of the Twisted Horn. However, this was before he was cursed as the skeleton we know him as now. He tasked them to open the chests in his possession, and every captain failed. It was then he proposed his plan, to essentially turn piracy into a literal treasure hunt, a game of sorts, where pirates could live their life as pirates and explore these lands and reap the rewards without the rivalry. Greymarrow chose to reject this proposal, as the thrill of the hunt was part of his ideology. But unbeknown to the Pirate Lord, one of his own crew members, Rathbone, was also against this proposal, and had been secretly stashing his own riches at a massive unmarked island within the Devil's Shroud. In a moment of betrayal, Rathbone stole the keys from the Pirate Lord, and together with a familiar face known as Stitcher Jim, began the sea's first trading company, the Gold Hoarders. Rathbone, however, in his lust for treasure, was cursed by this lust, and sits on a throne of his own greed, at the very island he stashed his plunder. After the Pirate Lord's betrayal, which resulted in him losing a leg, the lands began to shift in the way that he feared. More people started to flood into the Sea of Thieves, trading companies began to grow, his crew disbanded, with Rathbone being cursed and Mercia now passed away, he sailed the seas with a different crew, in an attempt to restore the Shroudbreaker to return to the shores of gold. The Magpie's Wing, however, was scuppered by the Burning Blade at an unmarked island. This, however, did not stop him. Now sailing a different ship known as Athena's Fortune, the notoriety that he harbored proved to grow old to him, and finding that he could not sail with those close to him or share those experiences with equals, he chose to retire, scuttling his new ship in a secret location, and turning it into a tavern where he could meet and share stories with equals, leaving a breadcrumb trail for those with a similar mind for them to find him. Somewhere along this journey, he perished. It's unknown whether he chose this outcome or was murdered, but we do know one thing. The pendant he wears around his neck, inherited by his old crewmate Mercia, is the item that allows him to exist outside of the Sea of the Damned for eternity, and possibly allows him to invite others to exist with him. The only evidence of his death is the 3 daggers in his back, something that remains a mystery to this day. Perhaps the betrayal of his 3 new crew members, or it could be symbolistic, or perhaps an anchor to this realm. Nobody truly knows. But one thing that has puzzled me for all of this time, the pendant he wears around his neck, which is not only the symbol for Athena's fortune, and also the same symbol for the ancients, found on their clothes and on their coins, is known as the Reaper's Mark. So essentially, a curse. So his eternity as a spectral pirate lord is paying some sort of price, which could possibly be the symbol of the daggers. So although the pirate lord is supposed to be the avatar of good, his power is entrenched in a nefarious past. And one day, hopefully, all of this will come to light. Plus, he's a literal uber-powerful ghost who can instantly warp to anywhere in the world, and he's left his son to rot on an island for the past 3 years.